Sun mosquitoes and travel tummy. So if you're headed on vacation, you're bound to run into one or all of these little challenges, and they don't have to ruin your summer. They can be just part of it, and we have some ideas for you to think about. When you're packing those bags, you're putting in your clothes and your food and whatever else, think about putting in also some go-to essential oils that will help you deal with things that may come up along the way. I don't know about you, but we are road trip people. We do like to get on planes and go, but we love to just throw some bags in the car and go for a couple of days. Sometimes we'll go for a little bit longer, but it's fun just to
grab
get
our
out,
sleeping bags,
grab our sleeping bags, our tent, or throw in an overnight bag and just go. And I feel like this little guy here sometimes is like, I want to put my head out the window and go, yeah!
I'm driving most of the time.
Yeah, she usually is. She loves to drive.
He's looking at everything.
But it's so fun just to get out and go. And we are always running into one of these three things. And so we're going to share and ask you to share also your ideas on how to deal with these issues that sometimes come up. So sun fun. Summer is full of sun, and it's great to be out in the sun, especially after a year like we've had where we've all been cooped up so much. It's so great now to be able to get out and get into the sun. So recently we were invited to go with a family member out on the boat. This isn't his specific boat, but we went out on a boat.
That's not specifically us either.
No. But we went out, and I'm a water ski nut. I love to go water skiing, and we just love to be out in the water and on the boat. So we had such a great time. We went out and we spent all day out on the boat. We water skied. We cruised around in the boat. We spent time in the sand on the shore and just had a terrific time. And I'm very, very careful about being out in the sun. I put on sunscreen religiously. And so I was very careful. I put on my sunscreen. I had a great day in the sun. But in the morning, I woke up and I had this very, very painful experience of looking down and realizing that I had put sunscreen on everywhere but the tops of my feet. And they looked about like this. They were so painful. It was so sore. And I just thought, oh my goodness, I forgot that spot. I covered everything else, but didn't even think about the top of my feet. So sometimes, even if we're very careful, there's that place where you forget, or you think, well, I'm just going to be out for an hour. It's not going to, I'm not going to get that burned. Or there are those hard to reach places where maybe you don't want to ask somebody to help you put on the sunscreen, and then you end up with the sore spots. So what do we do for sunburn? There are some really great oils to help with sunburn. And I'm going to tell you what my go-to is. And then I'm going to ask Cynthia what her go-to oil is. And then we're going to ask you guys to chime in and tell us what your go-to oils are. And we'll see if we can come up with some ideas. So my go-to oil for sunburn is tea tree. I love Melaleuca. I have always been so amazed at the results I get with Melaleuca. When I have a burn, any kind of a burn, sunburn or any other kind of burn, it's still, every time it just surprises me how much relief I get and how quickly I heal when I use tea tree Melaleuca oil on my skin. So that's my go-to. I always put that in my bag when I'm going where I know there's going to be sun, because inevitably I'm going to miss a little spot with my sunscreen, and it'll be great to have that along. Okay, Cynthia, this is totally unrehearsed, by the way.
Yeah.
I haven't given Cynthia any kind of warning about this. So what's your go-to oil?
Well, I actually love tea tree, and I like to add lavender to it. So I'll put them together, and I like to do it in a spray rather than rub it on. So I'd rather stick it in a spray, and I'll do it with water. So, or I'll do it with a little bit of coconut oil, but I don't want to burn too much more. So I don't like to stick it on with, anything else.
Yeah.
That. And
So tea tree, lavender,
lavender,
and
just and
water, you said?
yeah, well, yeah,
Or
probably. Let's go
coconut
with
oil?
coconut oil because
Okay.
the lavender can make. I mean, the water can make it more potent, I guess you'd say. And so I'd rather do the coconut oil in it. Just kind of mix them together and put them on, or spray it on. Do it in a spray.
Okay. Cool. All right. So that's Cynthia's go-to, and so you don't have to braid your, rub that sore
Yeah,
spot
yeah,
in
yeah.
your, you can just spray it on. Cool. Okay, let's ask the team oops, what's your go-to here? Let's see if I can get back to where did my screen go?
It's right there. No, it's not there.
Not there.
Did we lose it?
Uh,
Well, we might have lost it. Just a
Oh,
minute. Oh,
there
there
we
we
go.
go. Okay.
Jeanette, what's your go-to?
And
Hi, my go-to has always been lavender, lavender, and I also sometimes if there's like heat still coming from the burn, I will add some peppermint because peppermint has cooling sensation.
Oh yeah, yeah.
oh,
I
that's
like that.
interesting, huh?
And do you mix them together, or you layer them on, or how do you do it
Yeah,
usually?
I would layer them on. I put the peppermint to add with for the cooling, and then the lavender for to decrease the inflammation.
Okay. All right.
Awesome. Awesome.
Very cool. Thank you. That's a good one to remember. Okay, we're gonna go to the next one.
So we're missing some team people. I think they might have fallen off accidentally. Sorry about that, guys. You're not able to open it up. I can't figure it out from here.
A few years ago, Cynthia and I went with another family member to a remote place up on the border of the U.S. and Canada called Quitico. And it's this place where you go paddling in a canoe into wilderness.
And a lot of it's the headwaters for the Mississippi.
It's the headwaters for the Mississippi. It is so remote and so beautiful. It was an incredible trip. We were out on the water paddling for 7 days and camping, and it was so fun. But we also had this kind of an encounter. This is what I felt like, actually.
Yeah,
Those mosquitoes were huge. They were ferocious. They were voracious. And what we found was that as long as the sun was up and you were in the sun, you were okay. It was better.
Well, it wasn't good though. It wasn't good. As long as you were on the water, it was okay,
Yeah.
really.
Right.
Yeah, and the wind was blowing.
And the wind was blowing. But as soon as the sun went down, we had to be in our tents, or I mean, it was no way you would survive the night.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty bad.
mosquitoes can be a real challenge, and they can turn any fun activity into a very scratchy experience.
Right, right.
So we need to be prepared for that. As you know, we love natural products. We don't like putting a lot of chemicals on our bodies. And so we always look for things that are going to help be very effective, but not harm our bodies with chemicals. So go-to for mosquitoes. I get first pick here.
Yeah, I get first pick. That means I have to think of something else.
Yeah, I guess you're going to have to come up
Okay.
with something else. So
All
my
right.
go-to is TerraShield. That's my favorite, and it is great stuff. I wish I would have had a lot more of this on that trip. It would have been a lot more comfortable.
Oh, we had plenty.
We
You just have to do it.
more
I don't
often.
know. They were just crazy
Yeah,
mosquitoes.
they were crazy.
They get you.
But
when you're not looking.
this is great stuff. Mosquitoes, and any kind of bugs that you're dealing with, flies, whatever. Make sure that this is in your bag and that you take the TerraShield with you when you travel.
I'm going to say
Hey,
one.
Cynthia.
Okay, I'm going to
what's
say
your
I'm
go-to?
going to say a couple things to do. One to do with and one to do after. Citronella, you can put that in even a pan, if you will, and have it just kind of like not simmering, but just kind of sitting on a warming pan, and then it'll kind of cover the whole area. Citronella is great for bugs, keeps them
Oh,
away
okay.
really well. You can also put it on you if you want, or you could stick it on that, your area outside of your tent. You could spray it, excuse me, you could spray it there. And then afterwards, you got, the people like this little girl in the picture, that's a histamine release response. And so what do you do for that? Well, Roman chamomile is super good for that. Everybody thinks lavender, lavender, lavender. It's great. But you can go for Roman chamomile because that's really good for any kind of histamine release problem that you might have.
Huh. Oh, cool. So like a huge diffuser, essentially. Huh?
Well,
With
not the
chamomile.
Roman chamomile.
No, with the citronella.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
citronella.
So,
Hmm.
so you kind of snuck two in there. You got
Yeah, well, there
citronella
you
and
go.
Roman chamomile.
That's me for you.
That's good. Well, thank you. Okay, so there's another idea for you. Uh, who that is listening in has another idea? Go ahead. We're not seeing the chat here, so if you could just go ahead and unmute and pop on and give us another idea.
Okay, we'll go for Jeanette.
Yay!
Thanks, Jeanette. We know where the other people are there. We just don't see you today.
Yeah. Yeah, Gil's on. I don't know who else is besides Gil. But Purify is really good for yeah.
Okay.
So and it's good to like combat the histamines and the bites. Um I think because it has like basil and cilantro in it, which are calming anti-inflammatory oils.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my guess. But
Oh,
I'm also curious, wonder if the new Air X would do something.
I haven't heard that about it, but
Oh, okay.
we could.
I just knew that it was kind of in between Purify and Breathe, and so I was like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
so maybe
I think it leans
Okay.
more towards the
respiratory stuff.
side of that.
Yeah.
Cool. So Jeanette, do you just apply it topically right on the bite, or what do you how do you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, that's what I would do. Or if I was using it to prevent bites, I probably would put it on, my pulse points, like my ankles, my wrists, and then behind
Good,
the
good.
ears.
Then it'll be going through your body. That's a good idea.
Oh yeah, cool. Very good. Okay. So you apply it before and after then.
Yeah. So like as a preventative measure, and then also for,
Yeah.
and it's also good for animals.
Oh.
Awesome.
We have a breeder that we work with that he loves that Purify for his dogs and TerraShield.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Cool.
I
That's good
was-
to know.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's really good. We often forget to talk about our animals on this program.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, animal lovers out there. So, as she was talking about different ways to use oils, I remember a friend of mine took TerraShield with them. He's a really big outdoorsman and goes up to Alaska all the time. And they were going to do some kind of backcountry stuff in Wyoming, and with a group of people that thought they'd be safe using their products, and they brought along their TerraShield. And the mosquitoes were so bad that they were going, I don't know how a mosquito does this, but this was what she told me. So actually biting through their jackets.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
they
were this size.
yeah, they were like that.
Huh?
And she's like, the only thing that kept them off anybody was the TerraShield.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay. Travel tummy. So recently, again with family, we've had a lot of really fun road trips with our family. We recently had a number of our family in town for a wedding and decided to take a road trip down to Bryce Canyon National Park. And the way we split it up is that we ended up with these three cute little grandkids with us. We put them in the back seat. We called them the Three Musketeers, and they were just riding with us for almost 10 hours of car time, driving along. We had such a great time. They were super fun. But as we traveled, we had fun times. There were a few quiet times, not a lot, but there were a few quiet times. And we try to be, again, really healthy in the way we eat and the way we feed our family. And so we had we had healthy snacks and healthy food for them along the way. And about 3/4 the way through the trip, this little guy, Micah, uh, started feeling less like he looks here and more like this little guy. I didn't get a picture of Micah in this
Yeah,
state,
that
but
would've been sad.
I would not have been very happy. But he was really, really hurting in his tummy. And so we, we had this situation where we were on the road. What do we do? So of course we had our oils with us, and I again get first shot at my go-to oil for travel tummy, and my choice is Digestin. So we pulled out our Digestin and put it right on this little guy's tummy, and every so often we would put that on his tummy, and really gave him a lot of relief and a lot of comfort. So that's my first choice.
Okay, awesome.
Cynthia, what's your choice?
You know, I have a lot of different ones that I like
Okay.
for this. Of course, I always grab digestin caps, digestin tabs. So there, it's awesome. And I would say, you know, just keep them all there if you're going on a road trip. But another one that's a real simple one to take with you is just peppermint. And it's a great one to just have, because you can have it in the little beadlets,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
can pop
Yeah.
those beadlets open, and it's great for car motion sickness too. So helps with that as well.
Okay, great, terrific. Okay, and those are they're so easy. The thing I love is they're so easy to transport. They're so easy to just grab and use, and they give such great relief.
Yeah.
Okay, who's got another idea? Jeanette or Stacy?
Or
Any
Gil or
ideas?
anybody else out there that has something else
Okay.
they've tried.
Besides digestin and peppermint, another good one is ginger.
Oh yes. Oh
Yes.
yeah. And even the ginger lozenges are super good. You know, you can keep a few of those around because they also have a little bit of sugar in, and sometimes that helps actually when you have a little bit of a tummy upset. Sometimes that'll create more acid, but more than not, it'll just give if it'll give you a little bit of pick me up. It's minimal, so it's not like you're eating a sugar lozenge, but you know it does help with that as well.
Cool. Any other ideas for travel tummy? Okay. Well, that does it for sun, mosquitoes, and travel tummy. If you're going on the road, don't forget to throw some of these go-to oils in your bag, and you'll have them. They'll be really easy and accessible, and you'll find great results and great relief. And it'll be a real good thing for your family and for making those memories and remembering the fun times and not the miserable times.